Alright, welcome everybody to the Patch Analyze version 4.9.2. It's hitting today on 3rd March, and I'm here with my best friend, God is not dead, aka Patrick. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. It's been great, and it's I'm really excited to talk about this patch and analyze it with you.
Sounds awesome. So let's just dive into it. So we're gonna have some new loading screen as Legacy, some nostalgic stuff, that's cool, new Miku products, that's great, like fill up the whole Miku cosmetics collection, that's really nice, new throwback avatar for Bramble, nice to see. Let's go straight to the stuff effect. So we have some love for Bloodhunter, which wasn't touched a long time ago. It's actually more radius for the staff effect, so for those who don't know, BH Ultimate is AoE with staff. I think it's not the craziest staff effect, but it's cool and maybe it will be viable as you're against a lot of melee heroes and you have BH, so it might be. Ophelia is getting this patch actually some nerfs and buffs and like mix of stuff, so the movement speed bonus granted to ancient scripts change from multiply fourth of the original bonus to 10, so it's just a stale number instead of like percentage and stuff. I think it's around the same. Prisoner, this one is a great one. So Prisoner might have actually get stuff. So now you can activate it on self by 50% delay less. So it means it's so much faster. I really like it. And as it says, it's also a bug fix, so I really like to see that. I like faster stuff and, you know, more mechanical go faster. Stuff visuals, no, okay, it's just basically touches of the legacy, which is great to see. Illusion visuals, so illusions now have a new visual effect. Instead of simply applying a green texture over the original model, it now uses a light blue. So this is a nice. It's more fresh to the game, I feel like, and also, in other words, enemy illusions will not appear to have the visual effect on them, so that's also cool. And this visual effect for illusions will only apply for the owner of the illusions and their ally, so you won't tell who is illusion, who is not, which is nice. Force of Calvadar. A light player control non-hero units near the third tower will now have anti-unit walk in for the first 2 minutes. As you don't know, we faced some nasty strategy in the tournament of the VPOC, so they just blocked creeps until like minute 4 or 5 and then just came into with what it was, like 7 waves, if not more, and it was like unstoppable. So this is why this is the change, because of the tournament. They saw it's like sort of a bug, so they just fixed it that way. And all NPC natural creeps now have a push immune for the first 2 minutes, so this is like the keeper when he blocks creeps, tempest, and all this kind of stuff. So I like to see this, and as you can see, like below here, it explains that the level of the risk is none. Basically, you just block creeps and you suddenly can push 2 towers if you go like Trelane, Tempest, Keeper, Deadlift. So yeah, I like this change, and it's kind of funny because of our game it happened. Okay, going to natural creeps, they get in a nerf a little bit. So for Catman, he gets the mana regen 2 to 1. The Minotaur attack bonus speed is getting -5. Vegab only the regen -1, and the damage dealt by his spell is gonna be 20 damage less. Also, Voltron Lord armor bonus to allies 2 to 1, so a little bit of nerfs. I think it's gonna affect Parasite also, and Ophelia also, as these two are the main ones who control creeps. So I don't know how to feel about it, but it's not a major changes, so I feel like it will be fine. For midwars, it's actually making sense to do it like they right here. So ban phase time will be 30 seconds instead of 15, which is making you more competitive, thinking what you want to pick, what you have time to actually ban, and what you actually want to ban. It's not like Devo and that's it, because now you have a lot of strong heroes in midwars like Cursed, Riftwalker, Bombardier, like they're stones, yeah? And the hero selection is also increased for 40 seconds, And the time period after all heroes have been picked, it's gonna be 30 seconds. So some more time to think, make it more competitive in Mid Wars. I like this change, even though Mid Wars is like go and have fun. No, it's like a little bit weak for having more competitive scene. So there is the heroes, and I will give Patrick to speak as this hero was his favorite during this patch.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I actually even played Adrenaline in the mid wars and in the tournament like we had in the 5v5. It was actually like, for me, Adrenaline needed some maybe uh, Adrenaline's Q requires a lot of skill, so if you don't hit like two multiple people, you're basically not doing a lot of damage. So let's get straight into it. The Shard Blast mana cost changed from 100 at level 4 to 110. Little bit of mana increase. Base magic damage is reduced from 200 at 185 at maximum level, staying the same as level 1. Cooldown reduced from 4 seconds to 3 seconds, so now it's less cooldown, but the cooldown reduction of rush decreased from 1.5 to 1 second per enemy hero you hit. So now if you hit multiple shards, the cooldown reduction of your second skill is more than it was before. And when the shard hits two or more enemy heroes, the mechanics have changed. Alright, this is the main part, we're gonna talk about it. Old mechanic, the cooldown is reduced to 0.5 seconds and 60% of the mana is refunded. Now the new mechanic is the cooldown is reduced by 0.75 seconds and mana cost is reduced by 10, 15, 20, 25. So now instead of the percentage, we have a mana reduction static. The effect stacks up to 2 times and lasts for 10 seconds. So now you just cannot keep spamming it for like you can just text it up 2 times and that was it. You have to wait for the cooldown again. So that's actually a good nerf. It's not like affecting the hero much, and he's still viable for this spell. The Ember chart maximum pull distance reduced, not a problem, by 200 units, and regular distance at which the enemy unit stops from adrenaline increased from 100 and 150. Alright, nothing too much here. The ultimate, we have the strength per hero caught reduced from 8 at maximum level to 5. Alright, like I still okay, as I said before, and Craig knows about it, the ultimate is not needed to be nerfed. Like when Adrenal ultis, okay, it gets a lot of like more strength, but it was not the issue. But a little bit nerf on it is not gonna do a lot of change in my opinion, though. And it's still two the values of for enemy heroes, and no longer gets two bonus attack damage per real hero trap. So the attack damage has totally been removed. I like this. This is a good nerf. Like you can still hit multiple people and have their cooldown reduced. It's just a little bit of damage nerf and a little bit of ulti nerf. I'm gonna still play Adrenaline. I feel he's still viable. Now, going back to artillery, all right? We all seen that artillery has been like seen as a lot of damage dealer, but as we talked before, me and Krakow, the problem was the slow. It's not the damage, but here we have some damage nerfs. So percentage of attack damage bonus on each alarm rocket changed from 28% maximum level to 22%. Level one is still the same. Artillery is now sighted for 1 second is the alarm hits an enemy unit instead of just player controlled enemy units. So whenever you hit like the creeps, he's gonna be sighted for 1 second. If you're the neutral creep, the neutral creeps team will have sight of artillery, not opposing legion. Oh, so now if you are at the legion side and you farm at the hellborn side, then like the creeps or the neutral creeps, you're gonna get sighted. It's interesting. Base cast range reduced from 1200 to 1100. Alright, a little bit of range nerf. And now uses the correct range, increase value from special ammunition. Yeah, for sure. Now the second spell, which is the missile, the mortar shot, the base cast range is decreased, and the ultimate a little bit of decrease on the range. So we have overall some range decrease and a nerf on the LRM. The hero is gonna be still viable, but it's gonna be even harder for him to have survivability, especially when he's gonna be sighted like basically all the time is he's farming like the enemy heroes, neutrals or the creeps. Now let's have a look here at Blood Hunter. The ultimate, the initial superior magic damage increased from 400 to 500 maximum level. Superior magic damage taken per unit travel is increased too by 5% at maximum level. And Prior to this patch, the values in the tooltip were displayed as 30, 45, 60. They changed both correct tooltips and the buffs, the ability slightly. So what I see here, like Frostburn is Drill trying to make Bloodhunter back into the meta, but in my opinion, it's not gonna be good enough yet, especially with the staff. In my opinion, there is should be increased like by double at least, like 500 or 600 radius. Uh, but yeah, what do you think, Rakigo, man? Like, what do you will this bring Bloodhunter back?
I think this is a buff in the right direction, as the stuff is not about giving the hero coming back. I think this, like before these changes, PH ulti was basically nothing. You just run from it, done. No one cares, especially strength heroes. So now it's more damage taking, and you can tell by 5% in last level is not as much, but still it's more damage, so it's okay. I mean, it's a nice buff in the right direction, that's what I feel.
All right. So back to Calamity here. The agility gain set per self duration increased from 1.25 to 1.5. So this was the patch, and now they just give it a little bit of buff toward the right direction, in my opinion. Seriously, the Doppelganger mana cost reduced from 100 55 to 90 on the maximum level. So the level ones are gonna cost less, but the maximum level is gonna cost more. I like this.
Yeah, makes
I like
sense.
this. Yeah, makes sense. Codolphant, obliterate. Using this ability will no longer interrupt your order queue. I don't know exactly what that means. Do you have any idea?
So let's say you use it and you used shift, it won't like cancel
Okay.
stuff. Also, if you just do QW and like the opposite, it won't like there won't be this delay, I feel like. Which is like basically a bug fix, I feel like, not like sort of buff or nerf. It's just something that needs to be done before.
Mm-hmm. Now, Maddening Revenge. Now this is the ultimate. Attackers now also have minus 60% healing received for 0.1 seconds when attacking Cthulhu. Damage from Cthulhu front will grant Cthulhu 20 health regen per second for 2 seconds. The health regeneration effect and third damage now only has 0.33 effectiveness as on Cthulhu illusion. So this is a little bit of buff on the ultimate, like making Cthulhu more tanky and healing up more if people are attacking him when his ulti is on. It's nice. It's a nice buff. Cthulhu is being played. It's a nice hero. Now we're gonna do back on deadlift. Onslaught cast effect type changed from magic to physical. Alright, so now the Q is physical damage now. Devour started armor increased from 1.16 to 2. Oh, I love this. I definitely love this. Like, we all know Devour has really low armor and a lot of magic armor. The starting armor being increased by almost like the double. It's really good.
Yep.
Alright, Cracky, go for Draconis.
Alright, so we have Draconis here being touched a lot lately, feels like, and they're trying to find this sweet spot. So after the last patch, as we said, he's not gonna die, but you definitely feel like Draconis is less strong right now. But still people playing, and it's just harder to play, feels like. So the fairly barrage, Dragon Flames now only spurts the flames once from a blaze instead of spurring it 4 times, so it makes it harder to farm, feels like. But the base magic damage per 4 seconds increased to just straight 20. Damage rate increase per charge reduced from by 30%. Max charge reduced from 8 to max 8. And the multiplier damage against heroes increased. Basically, a little bit of buff in the early game, so because of the 70% makes sense. So this is more nerfs to Draconis. It feels, I think, fine because of you straight start with 20 damage instead of 5, so you just don't go up to 20 as you get it, you just straight 20, so it might not affect as much, but I see it as a nerf overall. So Drunken Master, again, they trying to just make him back, and I think this is actually gonna make him back. As you can see here, the stagger using lunge now resets the cooldown of stagger instead of reducing the cooldown to 0.8, so it means faster. You're gonna go W, hit, hit you, and you're actually gonna hit the 3-point strike. So you don't have that cooldown anymore, that 0.8, so it's gonna be so much faster, and it can actually bring the hero back to the meta, even though they nerfed him a lot and they just try every time to just give him back and see what actually works. So this is actually the right direction, I feel like. The drink now instantly grants 36920 drink charges upon starting the channel, so also faster reaction to the ability, which is nice. And the 3-point strike is gonna be reset delay increased by 4 seconds, which is fine. This is the problem actually, the 3-point strike is too strong, so as you nerf that, you cannot spam it. And I think this little nerfs, I actually want to try right now Drunkenness, and the Strugger is actually reset and not 0.8. So we have Empath, the link is gonna break after 200 instead of 100, which makes, I don't know if sense, but it means that you will deal more damage, but at the same time you will need to run farther away to actually stun the target. So it's easier to control with you. So let's say you the one who getting queued, yeah, the link, and you just been closer to Empath and you won't ever get stunned. But yeah, you will get more damage. So state of an empath or the target ally, if used while as one activate, is no longer considered a buff, and those can no longer be dispelled. So which means Nullfire cannot dispel that ability as you in someone, like when you ulti someone. Which makes sense. You should not. It shouldn't be a buff. It should be like a skill. It shouldn't be like dispelled. And this encourages that the link does not get it dispelled if S1 is used after, as I said, and not that the debuff on the enemy can still be disabled, which will cancel the link on Empath or her cost. Oh, so it means on enemy it can be dispelled, but not on the ally you in. If I read it correctly. You get it like me. Like you cannot cancel it from yourself, but the target that you going through won't get the damage. As it like
I
this.
think it's like a bug fix or something.
Yeah, I wanna see it in game actually. Yeah, it's kind of confusing a little bit. Okay, Engineer getting some love with the keg damage, which makes sense. Engineer is in a state which is great, but is a bit weak because they nerfed the mines. So it makes sense and more seconds to the stun. I like that. Fade, Shadow Walk now probably, it's more of a bug fix. Like this joint, you could do it before, but now it's better working, I guess. Okay, Flynn getting some nerfs actually, which was, I feel like, needed, to be honest, as they buffed that 100, like he have mace for the whole team basically. I mean, the effect, not the plus 100 damage. So the physical damage reduced by 10 in the last level, and the stun duration is getting lower, so it's less annoying, and actually at level 1 it doesn't have a stun. So if you gonna play Flint, you considering getting level 2 on your W right now. Also, the money shop, the cooldown change to straight 20, I think 10 is way too low, even though it's late game. But it makes sense as you have stuff effect in it, so actually reset if you kill someone, so yeah. So for that. Okay, Golden. So, Dagger Dance now deals up to 8 magic damage every 0.25 seconds to target other than the main target, which this is big. What it means that you can actually farm now with Golden and not hit only one target. So I actually like it, because the problem with the Golden is just he's strong overall, but he cannot farm. So it actually helps him farm. And the Purge and Plunge, while plunging on tree cooldown is set to 6 seconds if the Purge tree is destroyed. So this is a good buff actually. So Ichor, go ahead Patrick, you like Ichor.
Alright, Life Leech. Life Leech stat application now occurs before the magic damage takes place. Alright, actually I like this. This is a good buff. This allows the magic damage dealt by the ability to trigger from the Life Leech state, allowing Ichor to gain a projectile hits an enemy. It's a nice touch here. Not gonna affect much, but it's good. Keeper of the Forest. Nature's Guidance. Stealth stat on Keeper of the Forest will not be dispelled if Nature's Guidance is cast while near trees. Alright, this is actually kind of I thought it was actually like this. I didn't know it wasn't. All right. So clanks. Bang, the first spell. State duration for enemies facing the flash increased from 1.5 to 2 seconds. Alright, a little bit of buff. Lucky shots now deal 0.33x the damage and 300 radius to enemies around, but excluding the main target. Alright, actually, like Lanx is getting a little bit of buff, making him more viable because we haven't been seeing him lately. Kraken, release the Kraken, the ultimate. Now constantly applies restraint to enemy within radius. All right, so no, so people cannot leap out like Midas or etc. A little bit of not a buff. Like the thing is, you would only get immobilized at the center of the ultimate. Now it's I think all of the ultimate because it says within the radius.
Basically, people cannot escape it. That's what it means.
Exactly. Ophelia, Nature's Wrath. Cast range decreased from 600 to 700. I think that's got nerfed and now it's getting a little bit of buff again. Command movement speed bonus from creeps reduced from 40 to 30 and maximum level. Maximum health reduced from 20. This is actually a little bit of nerf. And creeps controlled with command now have a minimum base health of 900 base health. So now, like, Ophelia's get a little bit of more range, but the kills are gonna be less fast, so it's gonna like reduce a little bit of the performance. But Ophelia's always will be a viable pick, such a strong hero for people who can play it. Pandemonium, a hero that we haven't seen him lately, like ever, and he's getting patched. All right, Flurry now destroys trees within its affected area. All right. Okay. Flick now deals 20 physical damage to a target upon landing near them. Delay for flicking after landing the target reduced from 0.4 to 0.35 seconds. Pandemonium is no longer stunned for a full 0.5 seconds before actually flicking the target backwards. Instead, the stun duration and Pandemonium for his flick animation now matches the delay for the flicking. So a little bit of ability speed for Panda and a little bit of damage. Alright. Face Smash. Now Pandemonium now faces the target after every attack. This ensures that Pandemonium faces the target consistently. If for some reason the target or Pandemonium are displaced without breaking the channel. Alright, I think maybe like they saw that there was some bug and they fixed it because I don't see any issue there. Some simple quality of life changes were made to Panda, made him more responsive, that's for sure. Alright, this is gonna like as we see like last patch we have Kraken who got like faster ability like use, and now Panda is getting a little bit of buff too in this way, but no like barely no damage has been added.
Yeah, I want to add only, and the problem with Panda was when you flick someone, he can PK. Now you
Yeah,
can no longer PK. This is the big part.
yeah, because you deal physical damage. Yeah, Parasite. Infest. Experience and gold granted to Parasite with an infested creep dies is now static 125 experience and 75 gold, rather the values based off the infested creeps. Okay, so Parasite will always have the same experience and gold, doesn't matter what creeps he's in. This will always happen regardless of how the or you had to get out of the creep to get the money, and now it seems like even if someone kills your creep, you're still gonna get the money.
Not really. Read the next
No?
one.
Okay, these values are the highest values among the strongest units in the hardened true camps. If an enemy hero player has damaged the creep within the last 10 seconds, the enemy team also reveals the static amount of experience and gold split evenly among each enemy player. So it's gonna get splitted.
No, but it's not gonna give you anything. It's like
Yeah. I know it's not
it's
gonna give you anything, but if you, as a parasite, you're farming the neutrals, you're still gonna get the gold even if your neutrals kills the creep.
yeah, this is nice, but the problem is
Yeah,
if enemy comes to you, you're gonna want to get
yeah.
out of the crypt. This I don't like it. I mean, Parasite is not strong as hell, you know, but at the same time, giving him so much XP and gold static is a lot. Like max natural gives 48, 52, you know, this amount of gold. Giving him 75 gold, this is gonna boost his farm crazy, but in the later of the game, you're gonna give the other team so much advantage, I feel like. Yeah. I wanna see how it goes. Okay, let's go.
Alright. Plague Rider. Base strength increased from 18 to 19 and base intelligence from 18 to 20. extinguish the cooldown reduced from 30 maximum level to 30. Oh, it's still the same. It's just buff a buff from level 1 and level 2, level 3. Right, it's not a problem. Play carrier cooldown reduced from 60 to 60 at maximum level, so it's a little bit of early game presence for Plague Rider, having a little bit of cooldown reduction on his spells. For Puppet Master, Puppeteer's hold duration increased from 2.5, 4.4 maximum level to 2.6 to 4.5, so Puppet is getting a little bit of more love. Maximum level is it's not that, it's only 0.1 seconds. The Voodoo Puppet cooldown reduction from 110 to 100 maximum level, so Puppet is, after the big nerf that he got, he's actually getting a little bit like, this is not gonna affect anything, but it's better than nothing, I guess. Since Puppet, like, lately, I haven't seen any Puppet players anymore.
Yeah, because of the Elder Touch, actually. It's not because of the Puppet, I feel like.
But the attack speed on the E was so good early game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like 20 attack speed was
Yeah,
pretty big.
thank you, really.
Alright, she. Crippling puncture. Movement speed target tapper in midpoint shifted from 15 to 50% of the total slow duration. This is a small buff as the tappering mechanic starts later in the slow duration. Ancestral Assault, initial delay reduced from 0.6 to 0.4. Number of instances are now statically 3. Superior magic damage reduced from 125 to 50, 90, 130. So early game nerf, but late game it's the same. Trigger damage from enlightenment caused by Ancestral Assault deals 1 damage as maximum level. We have a disarm and perplex duration change from 1 seconds. So we have overall a little bit of nerf on the early game, but it's still the same on the late skill of the spells. Alright, go ahead for Rampage.
Alright. So Rampage, movement speed bonus. Now, lights for 1 second after hitting the target. So it's actually giving you 1 second of movement speed to actually go in as your W. So this is nice. If you hit someone, you get more speed. This is good. So Honor Strike, while moving, cooldown is reduced at the rate of movement speed 1k seconds. So the more you move, you will be less cooldown, it feels like cooldown yeah, basically it won't be static 20 seconds as it's now, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a big buff actually. If you charge someone from base to middle, you get 5 less seconds or maybe more. The chains that bind, the physical damage dealt increase by 10 seconds basically for the distance travel, so it makes sense as the old ultimate, and now this is big differences. Now it feels like ultimate of Rampage does not do a lot of damage, but now it might do the right amount of damage that needs to be done. Riptide, the ultimate cooldown actually gonna be better by 30 seconds at the early game and 15 in the mid game, so this is nice buffs. I feel like Riptide is not as played, but when he's played, he's mastered by the player and not everybody play Riptide, so it makes a little bit of a good buff. Okay, this is a big one. Everybody was waiting for this nerf. I mean, we called it. It's gonna be too strong. So Shadowblade right now starting stats, it's gonna be 22 instead of 25. Also the growth per level it's gonna be 2, so because they nerfed that, it's gonna be buffed, so in the later of the game he's gonna be stronger, as it makes sense. The more the game goes, the hero should be stronger, not the opposite. Starting attack damage reduced a little bit, makes sense because of the stats. So Soul's Sight, this is the problem. Let's see how they fixed it. So first of all, mana cost is gonna be increased a little bit. So while Soul's Sight is activate, mana cost is increased, so you cannot spam it right now at the early of the game. So this is a down to compare for the extra mana you get from Intelligence Farm. Okay, so it makes also sense. So you have more mana pool, so it makes sense it will activate and take from you more mana, so it's okay. And the stun duration, this is the biggest, I feel like. Reduced from 0.9 to 0.5 at one level, and the last level is gonna be lowered by 0.4, so he still has that stun, but now it's less and less annoying at the early of the game. Because before, he could have just level 1, you use your E and you make it twice. So let's see how they deal with that. So magic damage dealt on the proc reduced a little bit, so less damage for your first auto attack. And now procs its one-time bonus on hit effects when attacking an enemy unit, as opposed to just enemy heroes. So now if you hit any enemy unit, it means you can still deny, but once you hit a creep or anything else that's from the enemies, it's gonna actually affect the stun and the damage. So this is a big nerf, but at the same time it was too strong, so now you will consider doing it. And also one-time bonus on the hit effect now expires after 5 seconds, so if you won't be careful, you cannot basically stun enemies. So it makes it be more like Puppet when you have that crit on your next auto attack, so you wanna hit actually the enemy. Here it's the same, you wanna, after you use it first at auto attack, just hit it, you know, you don't wanna just wait with it, and because it will expire after 5 seconds, and also you cannot spam it. So this is nice, I like this nerf. So the essential shift. When strength is your main attribute, max health loss per point of bonus strength granted by this ability reduced from 3 to 1.5 in the end, so another little bit of a nerf. So overall nerfs, but I mean, I think because of the stun and this bonus damage of his soul sight, he will be still viable, but not as he was, you know, people will still play him, but not as, you know, he getting banned every game.
Just something. His
Yeah.
actually his ulti is getting buffed, not nerfed. Like maximum health lost, it's not gained. So with the more strength you have, there was a penalty for having less HP. You know. So now the maximum health lost per strength is reduced from 3 to 1.5. So now you lose half of the HP you used to get. This is actually a buff if your strength is the main attribute.
Oh, sorry, so my bad. I read it incorrectly, but so yeah, so this is like buffer the nerf that he got. So maybe now people will go strength build instead of like only go like, you know, intelligence. So Shell Shock, Rolling Thunder removed the delay from the initial activation. Delay after actually launching second activations increased to 0.2. So there is no delay, like you just straight use it. This is cool. And the delay after you launch it, like you wanna cancel it, it's gonna be 0.2. So we will see how I mean, it's gonna be smoother play. It feels like in paper. Soul Stealer, this hero, since when we saw him on even patch notes, you know? So, Druid, armor penalty for enemies increased, so less armor for the people, you're gonna hit harder. And now also passively grant Soul Stealer magic armor penetration up to 2, so this is big. Can now toggle the auras on and off, so with the extra ability of the D, which you should put it as D, it's nice. And these hotkeys change thus overall the short range demon hands cast hotkey. However, most players use their, so it means just use it as D instead of a default hotkey Q. So you will be able to toggle actually the ability. And this is actually nice to see Druid is being touched, and it's actually looks like little buff, but I feel like it's a big one because of the magic arp penetration. So you're actually gonna hit like so much stronger. It's like 3 armor more in the late of the game because of the penetration and also the 1+. Swift Blade now sights and reveals the main target for 0.2 seconds while ulting. This is big. So no more like slashing once and then, you know, fog and you have to dust before or something like that. You have the time to actually dust. I like this change. Warbeast is actually touched again with his speed overall, so for him and his unit 50 less in the later of the game. I mean 600 is a lot anyhow, so it's fine, he won't have troubles to reach the targets. Okay, items. So this is gonna be again touch. I feel like they playing with armor and magic armor a lot less patches. So this is the armor ones. So rank of the teacher, the self bonus is gonna be 2, but to the team it's gonna be only 1. And the region is gonna be a little bit more by 0.15. Also, it's gonna affect others as they touch the ring teacher. So Abyssal Skull, the same effect basically. It's gonna be 2 to self, the armor, and the bonus to allies. Oh, it's actually less, even 3.5. And the mana regen is gonna be 1. So more mana overall, less armor for the team. Same as Gnome's Wisdom, you get also 2 armor for self, 1 to the team, and the regen is gonna be 0.2 more. Plated Graves, armor granted to the allies from activation is gonna be reduced by 0.5, and the movement speed is actually reduced by 10. This is big nerf, I feel like. Maybe 5 was more a realistic number, but they touch in movement speed, which is something you don't see like in last patches. Also, Soul's Bulwark to allies is gonna affect and be 1 less armor. Going for the mana battery, this is nice, I like it. I don't like what they did with power supply. So actually, mana battery is back, as we had it, what, like years ago. So now it's like the power supply right now, you have mana battery. And the power supply right now, as it's back, it's gonna consist of the mana battery. Makes sense. It's gonna be with the totems, so now totems won't be useless anymore. I mean, other than Soul Trap and, you know, going for ornament, yeah, I mean, it wasn't really effective. And what heroes go for these items anyway, you know, like really little. And also, like, because of the totem, so now the power supply is gonna be 3 strength, agility, and intelligence, and the charges are back to what it was before, so it's 15, 10 for mana battery, and you cannot buy it on the outpost, as other effects are the same as mana battery. So I think this is nice. People will get power supply and get these stats. It's nice, I like it. And the mana battery also will be on the outpost, yes, power supply is not there. And Sacrificial Stone. I actually like this buff a lot. Receive cost increased a little bit, and the total cost is 1500, yeah, but now the item is actually strong. So now you have more stats, up to 8, which means 3 more stats on every attitude, and also the healing done adjusted by 5% more. So it means all the healers should get this item. You get a curse, demented, you profit, you name the Rhapsody, you know. And actually, Sacrificial Stone will be so strong, like 20% is a lot. Even though the item is like really, I don't know, twice the price, let's call it that way. I felt like it can be actually helping and be activated for your team as you want that healing done, and you will get it as a support item. It's gonna actually be fighting the Astrolabe, if you think about it. Alright, First Wolf Skull. So movement speed slow when used by a mini hero, increased by 5 seconds. Scouting activation increased the radius by 2k units. Scouting activations, it's I think the second one. Ah no, it's the same one. It's reduced by 6 seconds, nice. There is the second one. The second one is the Dire Wolf. So activation is reduced by 10 seconds, which is nice. It was like, felt like forever till you have to do this wolf, and the area is so small. I think it's 800 range. So yeah, it's nice that it's less cooldown. And also, in addition to its correct effect, also applies a 1 second root. Yeah, you heard it right. So it's like having Sensceptor abraded, you know, with a slow.
But I don't. I still will not pick this item up.
Yeah,
honestly.
but think of it like Mage Ben, you know, when you went for like old school build like Geofrost. It makes sense to get it. You get the root, and for Mage Ben it's nice. So maybe specific heroes can get it, as you have more slow from the auto attack. So maybe on Mage Ben it feels like the right choice. Ghost Marchers nerf movement speed by 10. What? I mean, Steam Boots will be more picked, as it seems, if they won't be on this page, on this patch, I mean. And the attack by 2, it's okay. Alright, Creamer of Power. So recipe cost decreased by 200, so it means 5.2, and the active effect has been reworked to the old one, so overall, it's gonna be activated to grant plus 30 spell damage to self for 15 seconds, as it was before, for those who don't know. And they say basically it's too strong for the game, and it's likely to make a return with more appeal and negative. I mean, basically they're saying it might come back in the future, but right now it's not the right moment for Grimmer. Which, yeah, I feel like Grimmer was too strong, they make it too bad, almost no one got it, and now they just rework it back to what it was to maybe make a new Grimmer of Power, meta or some rework. Alright, go ahead with the Orb.
Orb of Zamos and Gravelock it is. The bonus gold multiplier increased from 0.25 0.75 when non-player controlled neutral creep is killed by the corresponding synchronized hero. As we said before, like the orb got nerfed so much, like you could barely get 1 gold if you're linked to an ally who's killing a neutral creep. Now it's actually getting a little bit of buff, which was needed. Altars have a helm component change instead of ring mail now requires a shield of the 5. Recipe cost reduced from 1025 to 675. Total cost remains the same. Now passive grants two bonus strength, agility, and intelligence. Active effect now also grants 1 armor to affected allies. Effect does not stack with bed greaves or shield of the 5. Damage block value for self increased from 70 to 80. 35 to 40 if you are a range hero that has Altars heavy play. Hmm. I actually Why? I don't know. Still, item is not gonna be picked up. I will not pick that item up. Alright. Void Talisman recipe reduced from 1160 to 1060, and total cost reduced from 700, 1700 to 1600. Makes sense because the amount of like it was almost double the price, and now it's getting a bit of nerf on the price. Really good matchmaking maps and modes. We have actually some bug and fixes. Captain's Pick can now be properly hosted on this map for public games on the mid wars. It's just some stuff happening for the mid wars. You can guys go through it. It's not really like affecting the game. Heroes, we're gonna talk about sounds like the charge blast of Adrenaline is gonna be now more quieter. It's like bug fixes and stuff. We're actually gonna pass into this unless Krekiko, you wanna, I don't know if there's something important. I'm just seeing sounds and proper bug and fixes.
Basically, it's just bug fixes, which I felt like needed. The adrenaline sound nice. They're just nice, finally. When he was with the dollar one, it was really annoying. So overall, just, all this kind of stuff. Let's see below, there is items. Oh, wait. The items, actually, they're in below. It's actually interesting. So damage from sources that are non-boss, non-player. So it means we'll no longer simply disable the activate state of these items if the source deals damage to the heroes while the source is dead. So yeah, basically just fixes from like damage, and when you have bottle, health pot, and all this kind of stuff, it will be more appropriate. And yeah, makes sense. And like when the boss hits you in the last one and actually not hit you, this all kind of jazz. Also, Conjurer, you can only get one per
Why would you
game.
get two? What?
Yeah, it can no longer be dropped. Maybe it resetted. Like so yeah, this is like all this little stuff. So Homecoming Storm disarm state on tower is no longer considered a debuff. Okay, I didn't even know this stuff. And also Veiled Rat effect now also applies in 600 to around the user. So this means like Parasite cannot Veil Rot anymore with the creep. So yeah, just bug fixes basically. On Mimic, so Moira cannot longer activate Whisper in Hell. So yeah, just
Yeah, just
weird
some stuff
stuff
with. Yeah.
with zero sense to have. So yeah, people just find this all kind of jazz and fix that. So this is cool. So alright, I would like to thank you, Patrick, for being here with me.
For sure, man.
And also
Appreciate
you,
it.
yeah, thank you. And also check it out on his channel, as it will be linked below. And also you will have the patch, of course, below linked, and our Twitch. And if you have any suggestion for patch, actually they have on the forums like patch analyzes that you can help with. So I posted about Magnus that he needs a little bit of buff, so Maybe on the stuff only in the end it will be nice, but you don't ever know what needed to the game until you go there, and then like people give crazy ideas, so feel free to go there. And then that's it basically. So hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching, and have rest of your day being great. Peace.